Marijuana was first legalized in Maine for medicinal purposes. A few years later, it came legalized recreational use.
But the sale of that kind of pot had to stay separate. Lawmakers on the state and federal level have been reconsidering some of those regulations, though. News Center Maine's Caroline LaCour spoke with businesses in Maine on what those changes may bring.
When it comes to the cannabis industry in Maine,
we're the biggest commodity, the biggest agricultural crop in the state, and we don't have a lot of relief.
Folks in the business, like Ryan Parker, say they're used to adapting to strict regulations.
We have to have an employee that sits at the door and checks in people every time.
Since the legalization of both medicinal and adult use cannabis in Maine, protocols for cultivation, sale, and storage have been strict.
They all start here, they get their metric tags. Be state compliant.
But changes are around the corner thanks to a new state law expected to go into effect this summer.
Varying laws have been passed around cannabis, and in some cases those conflicted.
Director of the Maine Office of Cannabis Policy, John Hudak, says the changes are meant to work out some of the problems caused by conflicting laws put into place since legalization. Some of those changes include
making sure that we had levels of sanctions that the office can use when licensees are not compliant.
And more in line with what you'd expect in a liquor store. Customers will no longer be required to show a government ID at the door, but instead will be carded at checkout. Minors will be able to enter marijuana businesses as long as they're with a legal guardian, and stores will be able to offer adult use samples.
I am proud to be the first majority leader ever to call for an end to the marijuana prohibition.
The changes here in Maine come as the federal government considers nationwide changes, with NBC News reporting that the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration plans to try and reclassify cannabis in a less serious substance category, a change many lawmakers and business owners say would open up a lot of doors.
The milligrams might change, the testing might change, like it might be a requirement for us medicinal dispensaries to start testing all of our flower like recreational.
If recategorized as a Schedule III drug, the move would also allow dispensaries to take tax deductions on certain business expenses.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to really free up the market a lot. It's going to allow a lot of cultivators to operate.
A big change for an emerging market here in Maine and nationwide. In Biddeford, Caroline LaCour, News Center, Maine.
And according to NBC News, the federal proposal to recategorize cannabis still has to be reviewed by the White House Office of Management and Budget.